Okay, so here's the homework assignment, and it's pretty straightforward. You do have an answer key. So for the first one, they are just predicting which animal belongs in each of those categories, so based on what they eat and their nitrogen content. So they can first, I would recommend that they first look at the nitrogen content and decide what level of the trophic level of the food chain the animal where the animal should be, and then looking at the carbon content, you might look at, you know, what is dog food normally made out of? It's got a lot of corn in it, and horse and cows are corn fed, so they can sort of look at some of those as well. With the second one, they've got this infant, so you can look at the ratios and figure out what the mom is eating, right? But then the child has this higher nitrogen content. This is really cool, and that's because an infant is eating mom. Right? So the mom takes in food and makes milk, and then the infant eats the milk from the mom. And so that actually jumps the infant up one level on the food chain, which is kind of crazy. The number 3 is looking at ratios and trying to explain the societal shift when they go down in their, or up in their carbon-13. And this is agriculture, right? So they start growing crops like corn and things that are C4 plants. And then the 4 is relationships, looking at relationships. Same thing with 5, looking at the relationships. It should be pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please do ask me. So in this number 6, they're looking at this graph. And you can see that when there's a drought, when there's low water, it's actually better. You can see that the red line is above the blue line. So when there's a drought, it's better to not have kangaroo rats, but when there's plenty of moisture, it's better to have kangaroo rats. And it probably has to do with population control and less competition for the plants when they're being weaned down by the kangaroo rats. And then number 7 has these examples, just like the tapeworm and the golden jackal, where they're asked to predict what kind of a relationship it is. And then the last one sort of is a thinking question, right? We consider the tapeworm a parasite, is the jackal a parasite? Well, no, it's not a parasite. It's a predator. But looking at the differences in the relationship, and could it possibly be mutualistic? And so there's not really one right, wrong answer, but there's a good answer in your instructor guide that you can take a look at. And I think that's everything.